Hello, welcome. I am alive. I am back. Shaka. I have a deck profile for you today. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, right? But recently, Jeremy over at Ruler School, TCG, go check them out if you ain't already. Somehow, some way, some why. They had a online Grim Cluster only tournament. This is what I brought. I got top four, technically. I made it to top 8, right? And then my partner in day 1 or day 2 couldn't play, and I also couldn't play. So I got into top 4 because of that. But then I also couldn't play my top 4 because I was busy. So maybe I could have took first. I was undefeated up until last round where I went 1-2 on day 1, 6 seed. And yeah, this is just what I took. It is Little Red Hagia. I'm gonna run through it pretty quick. I think that this deck, even though it's Grim Cluster only, I think that this deck really can hold up still with all the other decks in the format. So of course we have Little Red and Kaguya, the SEER Kaguya specifically, with the sub-ruler trials. That's what kind of makes the deck good. To run through the main deck, I kind of have it broken up basically into 2 sections. There is the whites and there is the fights, and then there's this. So for the whites, 41st card Raymond. Let me put that right here. 41st card Raymond. 4 Dark Alice. We have 4 of the Tinkerbell, and then 4 of Pale Savior. Basically, these are just to supplement everything else that goes on in the deck. This is the only thing that you're going to do for Kaguya for her ability on ruler side. You're mostly running her for trials, but this can allow you to get like free Tinkerbells put onto board, so you can use them on like the crackback during your next turn. Dallas supplements engine. We are playing the Lone Wolf as you saw, so you can pitch Lone Wolves into grave to get new cards. And then Raymond is just Saki defensive 1-of. For the in-between, there's just 4 Observing the Crimson Moon. This is the only non-white or red card that you run because it makes moons and also pops stuff for the trials trigger, so you can get your treasury items. So then, of course, similarly, we are running the 4 Godly Aura to make a moon before recovery, but this moon's also red, so it means that it can revive your wolves from the grave, which is also a 4-of. This is honestly how you win. Little Red is just here as bait. She really doesn't matter. You can flip her every single turn, but she really doesn't matter. This is like the card that wins you games. And to support that, we have 4 Chef's Tears. 1 is missing because I gave it to my friend because he needed a 4th copy. So I just gave him the one that was in my deck. And then 4 of the Game of Lies, which I know what I just said about Little Red being like supplementary. You don't really need her, but it is so nice to have her to be able to proc her. It also, this, because people are scared of this so much, this baits out more threats than this does, than the wolf. And this is also a moon, so if it hits, it can revive wolves. And then lastly, for the last 4 of at least, running 4 Magic Stone Ace of Chaos. This card's so good. This card's so good for aggro. And I'll show you why in just a second. But this card's just so good. Like this card doesn't even need to resolve, because if your opponent burnt any, you want your opponent to burn interaction on this, because you don't need this card to resolve. But your opponent is going to be so scared of this resolving that I had every single opponent I think I played against, when I went first and they had coin, they popped their will coin to stop this card. And I didn't care about it resolving. Sometimes I had a second one in hand, so I knew I was going to get it off. But they're so scared of it resolving that you just rip a resource from them. And if they don't, then you usually get ahead, ramp ahead 1 will anyways. So this card's so good. And then last, there's 2 Raging Messiah and 2 First Light to search off a Game of Lies. Even if you don't cast these, searching these to be able to pitch with Chef Sears makes First Light or Game of Life replace itself. And then Raging Messiah, of course, double damage, aggro deck. You want to be able to help push and threaten lethal whenever. So going into stones, because this was a Grim tag only, I knew that everybody's playing 2 rulers. So I ran 4 Amadeus. This should just be 4 of the Pure Heart stone. You could do the Moonshade if you don't have Pure Heart, but ultimately, you can trust me on the math. Pure Heart is going to be your paying less than Moonshade, even if you use Moon to pay for Kaguya, because you're only having 1 card you pay for Kaguya. 2 Atom Stone, and then 4 of the Wolf Snipe. This is what makes Magic Stone Dance so good, right? Because this is just such a crazy ramp package. If you hit a Wolf Snipe, an Atom Stone off a Magic Stone Dance, you just ramp the stone and you just ramp the draw. So it's just like, it's such a good package. Especially if you hit something like Amadeus Stone or Amadeus Crystal first one, or Pure Heart in a real match. If you hit, now you have like 9 stones left in deck, right? Because you hit the first one, Amadeus. So when you see 3 stones, 4 of the 9 stones that are left in deck are Wolf Snipe. So now I don't know the exact math, right? But you're seeing 3 of 9 cards. You're seeing 1/3 of the cards, and almost half of them are Wolf Snipe. So the probability of you not ripping a Wolf Snipe is like pretty low. It's probably like what? I don't know, like somewhere 20-30% chance of not seeing the Wolf Snipe after flipping 3. So if you hit a Wolf Snipe, you ramp, right? Because end of turn triggers, you trigger this before resolving the Magic Stone Dance, get a real stone off of the fake stone, and it's so good. It's such good ramp. Like, it's almost always your turn 1 play. And then if you hit Atom Stones, you just sack the Atom Stones that we're gonna go back to the bottom anyways, because you're never gonna run through your whole Magic Stone deck with this deck. So then to get into the treasury deck, I don't play any treasuries. Trials is literally just to supplement everything else that you're already doing in main with aggro. So all the treasuries are only in the treasury deck, the EX deck. Arc Skill Grail, I'm gonna tell you right now, these two don't matter. Arc Skill Grail, First Moon, I never played them. These are really just here for filler. Same with Fleeting Moon. You need to run 5. And I promise you, these 3 were the least impactful, never came up. The only 2 treasury items that you need in this deck are Kaguya's Pictorial Scroll and Wind Chime. These are the only 2. If you could just run 2 treasuries, you don't even need the other 3. These are the only ones that you need. This pays for things like Observing Crimson Moon. It pays for Godly Auras, Magic Stone Dance. You can use it to pay for First Lie, Chivalry's Tears. Basically pays for half the deck. This refills quote unquote your hand by giving you 3 new cards. And so if you cast something like or rip something like a Chef's Tear and RFG, you can play it from RFG by banishing cards from your hand. You can't banish cards that are banished, right? But you can still cast it and then RFG cards from your hand still. So it's just really strong, really strong. And then for side deck, I do have a real side deck. I have a real side deck, he says. I have on the Honored One. It's a statement, y'all. Y'all don't get it. It's a statement piece right here. And yes, that was actually one of the 15 cards on my side deck. I'll pop up the picture right now from the official Facebook. Rogue Spectator, Replicant Shiva, double Lars, double Girl Staring At, triple Killua, double Attack Order, and triple Rumsfeld. There was a 3rd attack order, but I had to make a statement. Lars just helps protect. You side it in going into games like 2 and 3 if you think they're gonna side in J Ruler hate for your for Little Red. And again, I knew everybody was gonna be playing 2 rulers, so Rumsfeld helps. Attack orders, whatever. Honestly, running 3-ofs in sideboard feels so weird because it's very rare that I side in 3 copies of something. I'm usually siding in 2. But yeah, that is the deck. That's what I took to this tournament. Again, I made day 2, top 8 pretty cleanly. I didn't really have any problems. I do think that this deck still holds up. You want to just side, of course, for meta locals dependent, but I think that this deck holds up like really well in current format. From the little bit of testing I did only build the deck like a few days before the event, so I didn't get to test a lot, but in theory, it holds up really well against other decks. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know how y'all been playing, what you've been playing from the new set from Pilgrim Memories. Has a lot of cool stuff to experiment with, which has been very exciting. God bless you all, and I will see you in another video at some point. Stay hydrated. Links and everything in the description. Bye. As always, here's just the deck profile for your convenience as a picture. And real quick, I did do the math as well. If you hit like an Amadeus stone as your first stone, you have about 90% chance actually to see a wolf stone. So do with that what you will. Peace, y'all.